Well, for more on how communities have been impacted by mining, we speak to a youth community leader now, Jackson Dow, who was in that clip. Thanks very much for joining us, Jackson.
Yeah.
So a lot of challenges being raised there. What are the main bugbears for the communities in mining communities?
I would say it's the entry to be under the database, as well as being recognized by the mines, more especially in employment basis. But as we are right now, then we're not getting any, opportunities at the mine, same as education, not only looking at employment, but looking at education as well as business. Yeah.
How do communities feel about this new mining charter, the third installment that talks about communities getting at least 5% of a stake in the company that operates in their area, and also the push for local procurement and that sort of thing? Do you think it's going to practically work, especially given that mining companies do import a lot of the things that they need from overseas?
No, I don't think that practically it will work, because then what we have seen in the past, they've been robbing our people. They've been promising and claiming to DMR, sending false reports to DMR, locally handing out brochures to the people that this is what they're doing for communities, but practically none of that is happening. So I'm not so sure practically going forward that might happen, because at the moment, like, we're struggling with those kind of opportunities, even because previously we were believing that maybe even local companies would get 30% opportunities being subcontracted to other companies, same as a local project that we might get from the mines, or just projects from other departments or municipality, but none has that ever happened. So basically, moving forward, the practical way going forward, I don't think that might happen anytime soon, unless they change, the management system, or they remove some of the management people in the department of the mines.
Given your feelings, how often, or does the community articulate its strong feelings to government, and what sort of response do you get from government when you do that?
Back where I come from, in the village, from the government side, we're not getting any response, or we're not even getting any attention. Like even the councillors, they don't give us that attention to that point that we get recognition. So at this point, we're not getting any recognition from the government side. Yes.
Just in terms of your observations of the struggles that you talk about the community having, just outline to us some of the struggles that there are. Are people struggling to go to the shops and even buy food and all that kind of stuff?
Well, with transport, I would say that people are struggling to go to, to towns, so that they can get probably their groceries or whatever they need in their houses. But as well as education, right now our school, it's about to collapse, because there's no student. Like, parents take their children out of the village because they believe that they don't have, proper teachers, or they don't believe that there's teachers who are, well educated to teach their children. So they're taking their children to town as well, and they're also struggling with the transport to take their children to town. So those are some of the struggles that we faced with, as well as the unemployment. We've got a huge unemployment from our area. Yes,
it's really unfortunate, because of course the mining houses, they can only employ so many people.
Yes.
Do you think there's been a failure to perhaps create other industries around the mining sector, so that there can be knock-on effects for people to be employed elsewhere as well?
Yeah, I think they could create other industries, to create job opportunities. But then it's the government and as well as the private sectors, they're failing us in creating such opportunities to industrial levels, to create more opportunities for our people. Those are kind of situations we are faced with.
And the understanding is that with mines, you are supposed to ensure that the environment that you leave behind once you close the mine is still sustainable for the local people, but clearly that doesn't seem to be happening in some respects.
If maybe you can send some of your people to our area. There are places that they need to be rehabilitated, but then they still left holes, or that are left there. Rehabilitation was never been done. So those are some of the things that we are faced with as well.
All right, Jackson, thank you very much for your time, and continue with your work to boost your community. That was Jackson Dow. He's a youth community leader based in Brits Northwest. We're going to go for a break and have more news for you thereafter.